Welcome back to my channel. Israeli media confirms that the ongoing Israel-Hezbollah conflict shows no sign of ending. Even when the war concludes, it is expected to continue in different forms across various sectors. Reports focus, now listen to this, reports focus on the mounting toll the war has taken on Israeli soldiers, particularly the Golani Brigade, which is facing severe, I quote, severe shortage of troops due to constant fighting. The brigade, heavily involved in both Gaza and Lebanon, has suffered significant losses over decades, from Goni Harnik to Roy Klein. Hezbollah, they have soaked IDF's Golani Brigade in blood in Lebanon, Israeli media's shocking claim. We'll be talking about that, and we'll be talking about so many other issues in this video regarding what is happening between Israel, Lebanon, and what is happening also in Gaza. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, because most of my viewers are not subscribed. If you happen to be one of them, again, consider subscribing. I actually want to start off this video with this particular comment from Scott Ritter that came true. I mean, he was predicting it, and it is happening right now. Let's see what he was predicting. Let's take a listen first. Very, very interesting. Very, very shocking too.
Doing now is calling out Israel for the, again, abomination that it is, this apartheid genocidal state. That is becoming how the world recognizes Israel, not as this freedom-loving bastion of democracy, but this horrific regime that mirrors the actions and the ideology of Nazi Germany. I mean, it was Nazi ideology that led to the Holocaust, that led to the creation of Israel. Now the Israelis have come full circle, are behaving in a manner that's similar. It's not me saying this. This is Holocaust survivors who are coming out saying that they condemn Israel for becoming that which they survived. This is what's going to undo Israel. The fact that the world is seeing Israel for what it is, a cancerous tumor that has to be excised. You can't allow cancer to continue to survive in the human body. It must be excised. And this is what's going to happen to Israel. It won't be violent. I believe Israel will probably die from self-immolation. It'll collapse from within. Zionism has become a notion that's no longer compatible with civilized society, and you're going to see people turning their back on Israel, and you're going to start to see Israelis flee Israel. And at some point in time, when a sufficient number of Israelis have fled Israel, it'll become demographically impossible to sustain, and that will be the end of Israel. That's
okay. So that is so interesting, and also I find this to be shocking. What Scott Ritter said came true. It fits like a glove. Why? Well, take a look at this particular report. 10,000 Israelis immigrated to Canada in 2024. Figures rise fivefold since 2023. Now, this report came out only a few hours ago, when Scott Ritter predicted that Israel will destroy itself, self-immolation. He made this comment, I believe, at least a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago. But look what is happening. It is happening exactly what he said. Between December 23 and the end of September 24, Canada approved over 3,000 temporary work visas for Israelis out of 3,705 applications. So most of them were approved. An estimated 10,000 Israelis have immigrated to Canada this year amidst the ongoing genocidal war on Gaza, the Daily Haaretz has reported. A total of over almost 8,000 Israelis applied for and received a work visa in 24, a figure 5 times higher than the previous year. The Hebrew paper said in 23, more than 1,500 Israelis were granted work visas in Canada compared to 1,505 applicants the previous year. Now, you can see this mass exodus of the Israelis, and I have posted on my community tab many times a lot of pictures, a lot of videos where it showed that these Zionists, the chosen people, the God's chosen land, all of these things, they're abandoning all of it, and they're fleeing. They're fleeing like moths. They're fleeing like dogs. I mean, this is what is the reality of it. So when Scott Ritter, he mentioned that Israel will be destroying itself from within. Oh my God, I mean, his prediction was so accurate. Now let's play one more video from Scott Ritter, when he talks about the Western media, how they feel uncomfortable talking about Israel, especially when it comes to holding them responsible.
The big problems is, and here goes the grenade, Israel. The second you mention the word Israel, the nation Israel, the concept Israel, many in the American press become very defensive. We're not allowed to be highly critical of the state of Israel. And the other thing we're not allowed to do is discuss the notion that Israel and the notion of Israeli interests may in fact be dictating what America is doing. That what we're doing in the Middle East may not be to the benefit of America's national security, but to Israel's national security. But see, we don't want to talk about that, because one of the great success stories out there is the pro-Israeli lobby that has successfully enabled themselves to blend the two together, so that when we speak of Israeli interests, they say, no, we're speaking of American interests. It's interesting.
Okay, so let me break it down in two parts. Number one is that the reason we do not hear Israel is losing battle both with Hamas and Hezbollah is because the Zionist lobby, they do not want to look bad, because they believe somehow they're invincible with their billions and billions of dollars of money in their pocket, in the bank account. Therefore, Israel, they want us to believe, is invincible because God is protecting this particular nation. Therefore, you do not hear anything negative on the Western media about Israel and its losses. And number two is because these people are working day and night. The US politicians, especially now from Donald Trump administration, they're working day and night to make sure that Israel is protected. As Scott Ritter said, it is not about America's interest, it is actually Israel's interest. Through the Zionist lobby, that's how they control the US government. And so when we talk about these politicians, I want to actually show you some people, some honest people who I like when they talk and they speak the truth. Let's take a listen from Rand Paul. He's talking about Marco Rubio, the future Secretary of State, who will be running around Middle East, Europe, and everywhere to protect his beloved state of Israel.
And that has to do with Rubio. You know, Rubio, he's one of those that's not on our favorite list.
No.
So, and that means that he could become Secretary of State. And I don't think that would be good for the country.
No.
Okay, so the amazing thing is that the US politicians, they have already predicted, they have already foretold what this Zionist lobby will do to their country and to also Israel and also to the Middle East. This is something amazing. These people, they know who is made of what. And they know Marco Rubio is made of Israeli blood. Let's take a listen a little bit more.
Or the world.
There's two different kinds of people in the world, the way I see it, when I want to simplify it. There are the authoritarians, and there are the people who want to follow, voluntarism and peaceful means.
Okay, so again, he's talking about Marco Rubio being authoritarian. He's going to be implementing everything possible in order to protect and safeguard the state of Israel. And if that means kicking people out of the country illegally, he will do so. Let's take a listen to what he said himself. Marco Rubio, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, first of all, it's the existing law of the country, right? Our laws basically say that you are inadmissible under a visa, student visa, to be a teacher here, to be a tourist, whatever, if you are a supporter of a designated terrorist group. And then this week, we see people marching at universities and in the streets of our country and so forth, calling for intifada, celebrating what Hamas has done, justifying what Hamas has done. These are
okay, so basically he's talking here about the students, that those students coming from overseas in the States going to a pro-Palestinian protest must be deported, must be canceled their visa, and they should be kicked out. This is what he was proposing, and this is what he is going to be implementing with his boss, Donald Trump. Most likely, I do not know about Trump if he will approve of that, but there is a good possibility that is going to be happening. At the same time, we see them taking another approach, which is cozying up to Iran, because they know at the same time as they make these hyperbolic statements that, yeah, we're going to be destroying Iran, we're going to be destroying Hamas, and Israel is going to be, defending itself. At the same time, they know the truth, guys. They know that they cannot win any war. So we see this kind of reports on the media coming from Fox News that Elon Musk is right now groveling to the Iranian ambassadors, UN ambassador in New York. Take a listen.
Not trying to kill President-elect Trump. That is according to the Wall Street Journal. The news comes after the DOJ, though, outlined allegations of an Iranian plot to assassinate Trump before the election last week. A Pakistani man with ties to Iran was charged in the plot to kill Trump and other politicians in August. Meanwhile, in an effort to diffuse tensions, the New York Times is reporting Elon Musk met with the Iranian ambassador to the UN earlier this week. Not trying to kill President-elect Trump.
In order to ease tension with Iran. Oh, finally you're like, Iran is a big deal. We cannot win against them. After they saw what they saw on October 1st, the missiles, the ballistic missiles, 200 of them shook the Zionist state. So now they're waking up to the reality. Oh, wait a second. We're just dreaming. We're so delusional. Now we need to make deal with Iran because Iran's capabilities are beyond our imagination. We cannot defeat them. It is impossible. Rather, they're going to kick us out from Middle East. So Elon Musk, go and meet them. But at the same time, we have this kind of report from Iranian government denying that kind of meeting with Elon Musk. I do not know what is happening, but I do trust that the first one is true, that Elon Musk did meet Iranian ambassador, because 2 Iranian officials in New York reported on this, but not the Iranian government. So the Iranian government, no meeting took place, but Iranian 2 officials, obviously they're not going to tell their names, confirmed the news that yes, Elon Musk did meet the Iranian ambassador. So Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson Ismail Baghai categorically denied claims that its UN envoy met with Elon. The New York Times claimed the meeting took place earlier this week, citing 2 Iranian officials. So again, it is coming from those Iranian officials who confirmed the news. So yeah, I am more prone to believe that story. Now, of course, with all of this, we have to also make mention of what is happening right now. So there is this heavy casualties happening right now in Lebanon. Quote, heavy casualties confirmed. Hezbollah's retaliation turned out to be costly for Israeli army. So this is what is happening in Lebanon. And this is why these people are now desperate to save Israel, to stop this war. Thanks to Elon Musk and some other people working for it, hopefully. I mean, I'm not saying, Elon Musk is pro-peace, but what I'm saying is that these people are weak. They are terrified that Iran could do something much more harmful to the state of Zionists. Hezbollah has launched a series of military operations in southern Lebanon, responding to Israeli Defense Forces or Israeli terrorist forces, IDF, attempts to advance into Lebanese towns and villages. The operations, described as fierce, included rocket and drone strikes targeting IDF grouping stationed in these areas. Hezbollah claimed that Israeli military suffered heavy casualties in the operations. When we talk about Israeli casualties reported by Hezbollah, we're here talking about casualties in hundreds, as opposed to what IDF will tell us. No, these people, we're doing okay, they are just injured, this is normal part of the operation. But Golani Brigade, as I've mentioned in the beginning of this video, they are now both in Gaza and Lebanon. They're deployed in both. And Golani Brigade, this is the big brigade. This is the army division, army unit they go to when it comes to conducting warfare, whether you call it a short-term military sting or a war of attrition. Golani Brigade is the one to go to. Now they are getting attacked and hit both in Gaza, losing high-ranking officials. I have mentioned some of the names in my other videos, from Israeli military forces, and also in Lebanon they are getting killed and chased away in hundreds of thousands of numbers. And now we have shown you pictures in my other videos where I showed you guys they're now withdrawing slowly but surely from Lebanon, because they know they cannot win against this party of Hezbollah and also Hamas. So yeah, Israel is now going to shut their mouth. Trump is going to stop, hopefully, Netanyahu from expanding this war, because all parties involved, the pro-Zionist lobby, Trump administration, Netanyahu, his government, all of them are now convinced that this is a war they cannot win. Rather, this is going to destroy Israel, as Scott Ritter mentioned in the beginning of this video.